Okay, and welcome to this presentation about the present continuous. You might want to check out my presentation on the present simple before watching this, because we're going to be building on some of the ideas we talked about there, but this presentation is about the present continuous. And what can we say about the present continuous? Well, the first thing we can say is it's a tense, and tenses we talked about last time. There are ways of talking about verbs in relation to time. So verbs you can think of as, we normally say they're like doing words, actions, things that you do. So you sing, or you dance, or you jump, or you shout, or you play football. And we need to say when that happened. So tenses are ways of giving verbs a sense of time, when they happened, when they occurred. And things, I've written here a timeline for you so you can have a look. Things that happened yesterday, they've already happened, if you like. We usually use like the past tenses to talk about them. And things that haven't yet happened, things that maybe are going to happen tomorrow, they're in the future, and we use the future tenses to talk about them. But things that are happening today, now, then we use the present. And the present continuous is very much about things that are happening now. So think about verbs. Remember, verbs are about tenses are about verbs in relation to time, and verbs are doing or words or actions. And the present continuous then is very much about things that are happening now. I'm talking, you are listening. These are things that are happening right now. And the rule is really simple. It's to be plus ing. To be plus ing. And you might be thinking, well, what does that mean? Well, let's start by looking at the verb to be, and I'll explain a little bit more about to be plus ing. The verb to be is probably the most common verb in almost all languages, and we're going to be using it a lot when we speak English. Here you can see I've written out the verb to be. On the left in blue are the different subject pronouns: I, you, he, she, it, we, you, and they. And in the yellow is the way that the verb looks in relation to the subject pronoun you're using. So in other words, verbs change. They change when we use different subject pronouns. And we talked a little bit about this in the present simple presentation. You might remember that he, she, or it, then the verb added an S. Well, actually, it's a little bit similar here as well, because you can see with the verb to be, then we say he, she, or it is. But if we go through these right now, we can see I am, you are, he, she, it is, we are, you are, and they are. So this is how we conjugate the verb to be. This is how the verb to be looks, if you like, with different subject pronouns. And that's important because we need to use the verb to be to create the present continuous. So if we go back to our rule now, we can see that the present continuous is about things that are happening now. And the rule is to be plus ing. To be plus ing. Okay, how about we look at a few examples then? Let's take the verb to talk. That's an action, that's a doing thing. And I'm talking right now. How are we going to make that? Well, let's look. The rule is to be plus ing. So if we take the verb to talk, if we want to use the present continuous, then we're going to say, I am talking. It's something I'm doing right now. And the am part, that comes from to be. I am is from to be. And talk, that's the verb, and we just add ing. I am talking. It's something I'm doing right now. Another example then. Well, let's take the verb to listen. And the rule is to be plus ing. You are listening. And you are is from to be, and listening, that's the plus ing. You are listening. It's something you're doing right now. And remember, really important, that the verb to be changes depending on which subject pronoun you're using. So when I said I am talking, I changed the verb to be when it was you are listening. And that's really important to remember. But be careful, because for verbs that end in an E, you take away the E and add ing. So verbs that end in an E, you take away the E and add ing. And I've got some examples for you here. Come, for example, to come, the verb to come. I am coming, not I am coming. We drop the E and add ing. And the verb to write. I am writing, not I am writing. We drop the E and add ing. So if the verb ends in an E, then we take away the E and add ing. And be careful also, because verbs that end in a vowel and a consonant, you double the consonant. And a vowel, you remember, these are the letters A, E, I, O, and U. In English, there's only 5 vowels. And consonants are all the other letters. So if it ends in a vowel plus a consonant, then you double the consonant. That's the rule. So let's take a look at this verb. So for example, swim. S-W-I-M. I is a vowel and M is a consonant. So that M ends in vowel-consonant combination. So we know then we need to double the consonant. So that's swimming becomes. And run is the same. U is a vowel and N is a consonant. So we know then we need to double the consonant, the N, running. So swim becomes swimming, run becomes running. And if the verb ends in a vowel plus a consonant, you need to double the consonant. Okay, well that's about it for this presentation on the present continuous. The important things to remember is the present continuous is a tense and it's talking about things that are happening right now. Things that are happening right now. And the rule is to be plus ing.